you really think like Jimmy G, his last time or his last little phase of okay, he settled in. You can almost tie that together. It just sounded like from your answer when Emmanuel Sanders got there. Did you feel like that took Jimmy's play and to maybe that next level up or whatever, for lack of a better phrase?
I mean, that was the timing of it. I don't know if it was
Right.
So I think our defense carried us at the beginning of the year, and then our run game carried our offense at the beginning of the year to where we didn't have to do much and put a lot on Jimmy, or we didn't have to call a lot of passes. During that time, though, it allowed us to be undefeated while all of a sudden, I think Jimmy never thought about his ACL, come like week 6, 7, 8, like it allowed us to go through weather that storm that so many players have to go through when they come back from an injury like that. And we were able to go through it without even really having to address it because of how good our defense was in our running game. And then by the time Emmanuel got here, which was, I think was week 8, the ACL was an afterthought. And now our defense had a couple bad games and Jimmy was ready. I mean, he was just being the quarterback he could be. And he wasn't the guy coming back from an ACL. And that's kind of when, all right, we got a whole team. It's everything.
Yeah,
and it wasn't just, all right, now Jimmy's ready. It was the receivers got ready with him. The running backs did. Raheem started coming on strong. We were understanding our rotation better. We lost Staley and McGlinchey and Brunskill in school. One guy from the AAF league and another 7th-round draft choice came in, and we still ran the ball well. We still won those games. It just gave everyone a confidence like, oh my God, it doesn't matter who's out there. We are just a good team. And that's what, I mean, when we lost Kittle and Ross Dwelly came in and played great. And it was just, our team kind of fed off it because it was real. And it just, everyone, all of a sudden, everyone felt good. And that carried us for a while. And that's why, I mean, we were very confident going into the game, all those playoff games, into the Super Bowl. And so we ended up being the second best team. And we have some unfinished business with that. And hopefully we can change that this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, when do you get over a loss like that? Like, how long did it take you to just kind of like move on with life a little bit?
I don't think you ever totally get over it. But I mean, you get your depression leaves. So I guess what that would say getting over it. I mean, I went February and March one. I mean, I wasn't in the best state. I mean, no one died, like I still have my health. I still have my family, but man, does it hurt when you know how close you were to something and how big of a deal that is. And how easily you could have done it. And especially when you feel like you kind of earned it too, but you still got to get it done. It wasn't going to be a lucky thing. Like we were that good. So like, that's a hard thing to deal with in February and March because it's so soon, but you get over it because you love your life. You still are going to go out and work. It is just a sport, but it's my livelihood. But that's where you get over like the depression and everything, and now you get ready to go compete again. That's what I enjoy doing. And I've also seen this long enough to where, I mean, I've just watched my dad go through so much stuff, and I've watched myself go through so much stuff that in order for you to be a good father, to be a good person, and how much it does mean to me, which how much football means to me. Our players know how much it means. Anyone who knows me knows how much it means to me. But that's also why you got to make sure that you're a man first, like you're a husband first, you're a father first. You are not just a football coach, because you can't let that define you. And you put it in perspective, and that's what allows you to go on. But holy shit, dude, I want to get back to there and get that done again. And that's why I know I'll never let it go. And so I'll never let it go. But man, I can deal with it. I can live with it, and I can go do it again. And I'm not scared to lose. I'll go do it again and give everything I have. Like that. That's when I mean you can deal with it, because I'll lose 8 times in a row and still try to go for another. And I definitely don't plan on that happening. But that's when something can't break you, no matter how bad it is. And that's It does kind of make you stronger. Like if you ever told me when I was little, like, hey, you'll be at this point in the Super Bowl and this is what happens, I'll be like, oh my God, what do I do? Do I just go cry for the rest of my life? You'd be like, no, you had a tough couple of weeks, but you moved on. You're the same person. I'd be like, oh man, I didn't think I could handle it. And you do. You just handle it. And you get stronger, and you go through these deals that make you stronger and wiser, and they do make you better. Like I promise, they make me better. When you have a Super Bowl ring, it makes you look better. So I want to make sure we get one of those, because that's what we all work for.
Yeah, I know I mean, have you got to watch the game with your players, Jimmy, anybody at this point? I mean, have you had many conversations with guys on the team about it?
Yeah, during the Zoom meetings and stuff, I'd pull it up a lot. It came up a ton in our cut-ups. I have not sat down and watched play one to the last play with them. I would like to do – that was my plan in OTAs when I could get everyone together and to do something like that. I'm going to do something similar to that here when we get everyone back, whatever day that is. But there's parts about it that it is a new year, but you want to address it because you don't want guys to run from it at all. And you want hungry over it and see like, guys, it's not rocket science. Like you can just, this is why we lost. This is why we could have won. Like it's these plays. All right. There's never one play. There's a bunch, but it adds up and everyone can sit. You can, however you want the mood to be, you can dictate that. Guys will be like, oh my God, we can easily do this again. Or you can just crush guys and make them feel horrible. I don't want to do that. I want guys to see how easily we could have done it. And also remember how hard it was to get there. Because that's also what people don't realize. Like, yeah, we have a good team on paper, but all our guys right now are independent contractors. Like, and I guarantee our guys have been working hard, but our team hasn't been working hard. And you become a team by working hard together and going through things together. And that's what none of us had done. So when our players get here, I'm going to show them some of the Super Bowl, and they know we have one goal to get there, but they have to know, like, we haven't done shit yet, and we have to put in the work as a team. And that's why I'm just so excited to get these rules and stuff, because we're ready to put the work in. I've been talking to our guys. They've been working so hard individually, but I want to get the Niners better, not just individual guys.
You know, I got because you made these comments to your fans, I think a few weeks ago about, I want to get back there right now and do it again. And, you know, my buddy Florio, he takes that like, oh, you know, is Shanahan saying Super Bowl or bust? And, you know, he tries to play that whole thing. And, you know, of course, I mean, what do you say? I know it's not like that, right? I mean, I know you're not afraid to go through the process again.
No, I say, that's why none of us, that's why I never want to do this stuff. That's why it's taking you do 167 podcasts to get me back on. Cause I know Florio's going to find something on here and he's be like, oh, Kyle is only worried about this. Like, and whatever, I don't get mad at anyone cause you guys need content. But that's just why it's hard to talk. Like, man, we were a couple plays short of the Super Bowl. What do people expect our expectations to be? I mean, that's what it is. No, I don't want to say that because someone like Florio might make a headline that makes me look like a douchebag for calling someone like that. Can I talk like this on your podcast?
You totally. This is my podcast. You can talk any
I feel like
I'm
FaceTiming with you, so I'm going to get too comfortable. But hell yeah, we feel like that. But do I think we're just going to, if we just think like that and think we're going to show up, we won't get to the playoffs. Like, this league is too hard. Like, no one has an easy way. Like, the hardest years of my life have been coaching. I feel like have been the 2 years I've gone to a Super Bowl, because you have a good team and how much harder it gets each week, the way teams are playing you and how intense it is, because you don't want to mess that up. And this year will be so much harder, and we can have a better team and still not do what we did last year. And no one's more aware of that than myself. I've been around the sport way too long, but every time I answer a question, I'm not going to cover all of that. But that's all I talk to my players about is, once you feel good in this league, I promise you will be so humbled. It's unbelievable. Like, you always need to be thinking you're about to get fired. You always need to think you're about to get cut. You always need to think you're about to get replaced, because you are. I've seen it to the best coaches, the best players. This league goes, and it's high. It's very competitive. And if you start thinking like anything is easy, you're already on your way out, because you got to earn everything. And that's what I like about our sport. Like, because it tells you a little bit about who you are. Like, to make it in this league for a while and to call plays, to do stuff, like, I don't care who you are, you're going to get beat up, just like a quarterback in this league. And you can't start, you got to be very humble and know how hard you have to work just to even get to a spot to compete.
What's the teaching moment for Jimmy G last year? You know, just the last thing on him. I don't mean to beat this to death, but of course he's the quarterback of the Super Bowl team and everybody talks about him. But like, what do you take away from the year that you'll try to preach to him as, you know, the banner theme for 2020 football season?
Mine to Jimmy is just that you're just getting started. last year was your first year playing quarterback for a whole season. Like, you've never had a longer than a 3-game stretch, and last year you got 16. And look how good you did. Look how far we got. And oh my God, we almost got all the way. But that's not the finished product. And that's what I feel about everything. I feel about myself. I feel about our team. Like, guys, we didn't just almost get there. We're still going, and you have to get better. And what I like about our team is, when I'm talking about Jimmy, how can he not get better? He's played one season, and that's just the starting point. You look at some of our receivers, some of our D linemen, like, we got guys who almost played good enough, and we almost coached good enough last year for us to win a Super Bowl. And that's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, that it wasn't enough. What's really cool is when I look at our team, and I'm not making stuff up, no one's at their peak individually. Our guys should get better. Like, our guys can get better. Our receivers can, our D line can, our quarterback can. We got guys who can get better, and that's what's exciting. And with Jimmy, I know everyone thinks he's been in the league so long because he's gotten a second contract and everything. But quarterbacks, with his ability, they get better the more they play and the more situations they're in. And that's the key for Jimmy, is just to know that and keep doing it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.